Well, we weren't able to go to Monaco, but this track is just as challenging and twisting and tight as we're underway in Jungle Rock, as Blue immediately gets spun around and goes to the back of the field, Green making contact with him. Orange leads the field as Cyan tries to get past Pink there, but they all stay the same. Oh, and is that Yellow and Pink being spun as Yellow gets going, but Pink is shunted and bumped, and looks like he's out of the race as Green makes more contact. But there was 3 wide there from Yellow, Black and Green, but they all find their way into the order now, as Blue comes around in last place, getting past Pink, who is DNF'd and out of the race. And it looks like Green going wide there at the back, struggling with a bit of steering there, might have a damaged axle, we'll see how that goes. And Blue coming around, being spun around at the start. Hopefully he can have a similar story to Orange last race, who was able to get into 3rd position after being spun from the start. Probably the biggest benefiter from the start was Red, who's Green makes contact with the pole there. That looks like possibly damage that would send him out of the race. As Red makes a move on Purple, as I was saying, he's probably the biggest benefiter from start, starting in 9th. Oh, more contact. Green going slowly and Blue running right into the back. But, as I was saying again, Red started 9th and is now up to 4th position. A lightning start from him, as the cars come around to complete their first lap. Orange and Lime in the podium positions again, followed by Cyan and Red, who both DNF'd last race, so they'll be looking to have a strong result today to get some points on the board for the first time. Green, despite having major damage, is still rolling around the track, which is all he needs to do to score points. Unlike Pink here, who is DNF'd and will not be getting any points out of today's race, but with the nature of this circuit, I'm sure there'll be a couple more DNFs before the end of the race, as the leaders come around the tight hairpin. Oh, and Lime trying to get around Orange and Cyan having a sniff, but no one able to make any moves. As Purple goes very slowly, heavy damage on his car. He'll probably get overtaken by Yellow and Black very soon, but a strong start from the front runners, not losing any positions, not crashing, keeping it on the road. As Cyan tries to go up the inside of Lime, doesn't quite, oh no, it does get there, better acceleration up the ramp there, gets him 2nd position, as he'll now try to catch Orange in the next couple of laps. That ramp seems to be a very good opportunity for overtaking. We've already seen 2 moves there without contact in the first couple of laps. Oh, and you can see on the telemetry on the side there that Purple has dropped all the way down and is out of the race. And that's contact with the wall for Yellow, and he doesn't look like he's going anywhere anytime soon either. That's unfortunate for him. And there's Purple stranded in the middle of a corner. That's the 2nd car that's being stranded in the middle of the track, and I'm sure at this point we're going to have a red flag. And there you go, there's a red flag signal. So now if you look at the telemetry to the left, you can see that we have 4 cars eliminated from this race. So we'll have to have a look at some replays to see what happened. Riding on board with Yellow. Drives straight into the side of Blue there, spinning him around. All of Yellow's fault right there, but there isn't any penalties in this league, so Yellow will go away with it. But then Yellow goes and gets spun around by Black 1 corner later, getting what Yellow deserved really. And there's Pink off to the side there. I'm sure we'll see the replay of Pink in a second, but Black pushing and shoving his way past Yellow and getting into 6th position. So we run on board with Pink, the 1 car to DNF on the first lap. And Pink gets awkward contact with Lime right there and then has to slow down to back out of it. And then Pink's at the mercy of Cyan, who spins around and then gets hit by Purple, hit by Cyan, off the track, and then Green will come and deal the final blow, further cementing his DNF and also giving the damage to Green that will cause him to run into the post and fall to last place. As we watch on board with Blue, spun around straight away before even your contact with Green. So Green's made a lot of contact, a lot of damage early on in the race, but is still going. Made it through the first laps where 4 of the other cars didn't, and we see Green slow start, hits Blue off track, hits the wall there, and that's pretty much race ruin for Green, unless there's a red flag, which means you can all respawn with no damage to your car. So everyone gets a clean slate, and then yes, Green losing a lot of positions there to Yellow and Black as he hits Pink, who was just in the path, and there's nothing he can do about it as they went 3 wide. Oh, and almost into the lake for Green there. Disaster avoided with some good driving, but you can see clearly here that his car just isn't going forwards when he wants it to go forwards, and that results in him slamming into the pole. That's a big shunt there, damage done, and then Blue runs straight into the rear of Green, dealing even more damage, so Green's just limping along now. but he'll still get through the restart and survive, which is the most important thing. But more contact as Blue gets past with a smashed up hood there as he ran into the green 2 or 3 times trying to get past. As we look at the aerial camera where Blue gets spun around straight away, hits green, green goes and makes more contact. But at the front there you have Orange with a very good start, and then the 2 cars that will get spun around are Yellow and Pink. As we can see, Pink getting spun there and Yellow shortly after, almost in synchronization, and then Pink just gets butted off to the track, hit from like 3 or 4 cars, and it shambles its chicane, but most people make it out alive. Pink is the unfortunate exception there, and Blue falling behind because he got spun around on the first lap. And here we have a replay of Red's overtake on Purple. It's a very lovely job there. Very common overtaking spot on this track, one of the best ones to make a move at. And here's the outside view, Purple just going a little bit wide with all that damage, who does end up DNFing after. And then here we go with Blue, just ran into green, trying to get around, not able to find a spot, runs into green again, because green is so slow, Blue just didn't expect it, and then eventually gets past, but DNFs due to the damage that he sustained. And Yellow also making a move on Black there that we didn't see, but he causes Purple's DNF by running into the back, shoving him off, but Purple already had a lot of damage. And oh, that's big there, clipping the shipping container and completely ruining Yellow's car and his race as he runs into the pole and gets stranded. Well, here we go again on the restart, and Orange getting a good start and Cyan being spun straight away. Everyone slowed down because of it. Orange gets a stellar getaway and Cyan down to 4th as he spins Lime for revenge there as Green runs in the back of Lime. It's side by side into the hairpin, but Cyan gets a little spin again but gets the advantage and gets past. And Lime there bumping Green off the track. Hopefully Green can keep it going. If not, that'll be a very sad way to go after the survival job he did earlier as we ride on board with Lime, who is sitting in 4th, chasing down Cyan there. He'll want to get it because he got a podium last time, so that's the expectation he'll be setting himself as he comes around and goes quite wide up the ramp, losing ground to Cyan and falling a little bit back. Well, this restart seems to be less chaotic than I was kind of anticipating it to be, but we still have all of the top 5 still running. In our picture here, we don't know what's happened to Green. Green could keep on going. Oh, and we see him now, and it looks like he has managed to get back on the road and is pointing in the right direction and rolling again. Another scary escape. Let's hope that he can stay into this race and finish and get some points. He'll already be getting good points for coming in 6th because 7, 8, 9 and 10 are all DNF'd. That's the numbers you expect when you race at a narrow and tight circuit like this one. A consistent start for Orange being the lead the whole time. The only car to hold his position since the start, and what a position to do it in, 1st place. But Black seems to have a good run on him, gaining down the straight. That's concerning for Orange, he might have a bit of damage or something, but he manages to keep the position as we ride on board with Black, coming around the last couple of corners in the shipping container section. And Black runs a little bit deep there, that'll lose him a bit of ground, and Cyan I'm sure will be hot on his heels and ready to make an overtake as soon as Black makes some sort of mistake or falter. But he hasn't done that so far in this race. He started right at the back in 10th on the grid and has managed to get all the way back up to 2nd. That's quite impressive and reminiscent of Lime's performance last race where he got from 9th to 2nd to get his first podium. But as you can see from this bird's eye view, there is nothing in between the top 5, Red falling behind a little bit, but that's nothing he can make up. As he gets very close to Lima there in the chicane, you can see they're all neck and neck, and I'm sure there's going to be some great racing before the end of this half an hour race. Black pulling out of the racing line, thinking of a manoeuvre, but pulls into the racing line and thinking better of it as we come into the ramp, the most common overtaking position in the whole track. As Cyan there pulls a blinder on Black, no one expected that, and he is now up to 2nd position. It's been a great race from him as well. Cyan, Black and Orange being the standouts so far as we look at a replay of that amazing overtake and the start, because we haven't done that yet. So we can see Lime tags Cyan straight away. Cyan does a full 90-degree spin but catches it, and they continue on. This gives Black 2 positions. He goes from 4th to 2nd, and Orange a big lead as Cyan does a very similar thing to Lime, who also does a 90-degree spin, and then Lime spins Cyan again on the chicane. and then green there is knocked off into the grass. That's very unfortunate. Just not enough space for him and lime to get through safely. And here's the overtake that we just saw from Cyan, just zooming around black as he went a little wide and taking second position. Nicely done. As we see the top view here, we can see black taking a different line from orange, going a little bit wide and struggling a little bit with acceleration. Looks like his bumper's fallen off and he's kind of running over it now, which will slow him down. And Cyan takes full advantage of it and zooms around in the inside there. As we see our cars come past the starting straight and around the first corner. Orange still leading the race, having iron grip on that first position, followed by Cyan, who's had a strong race, as well as black and red, who both started at the back of the field, and lime, who's still going but started in 5th and is falling behind now. Oh, and lime goes deep and has stopped but keeps going. There's a lot of damage on that lime car, and it looks like his race might well be over very soon if he can't keep it out of the walls, which there are many of, as we can see right here, where orange and Cyan are going through the dock area, and down the straight they go. And then we go back to lime, who is going quite, struggling braking there, and you can see a bit of the bumper sticking up from the view there. Oh, and straight into the wall. And lime has run over that bumper now and doesn't seem to be going anywhere. This car is stranded right in the middle of a racetrack on the racing line. That's unfortunate for lime, and will probably be a red flag. Yep, there we go. The third time we're restarting, this time with only half the cars we had at the start, as we're underway here at Jungle Island, and that's a good start from orange, but Cyan getting spun again, and red has made contact with nowhere to go. He looks like he's out of the race, but orange with a strong lead here as we come down the hairpin. Cyan closely following, and black retaining position here in 3rd, as green is in 4th. What a lucky result considering some of the complications he's had so far in this race. This is the first restart where he hasn't gotten major damage in the hairpin at lap 1, as we watch black and the rest of the pack zoom through up into the ramp, which is the most favoured overtaking spot on the track so far. We've seen plenty of great moves around that bend, but I don't think we're going to be seeing too much more. Not only because we have less runners now, but because everyone's going to be happy to just maintain position and score good points compared to all of the cars who have DNF'd. But, having said that, there's always the greed to go for gold, and I'm sure both lime, orange and black and green are all feeling it right now. As orange leads the first lap of the restart, yet again, he's been really good at keeping his nose out of trouble, which is why so many cars are having such a stinker this race. So long as they're in first and you can just zoom away, then none of it's your problem, eh? Green falling quite far back there. Wonder if he's had a little incident or something, because he shouldn't really be going that slowly unless he's picked up damage again. So as it stands at the moment, we'll have orange picking up 25 points, which will put him comfortably into the lead of the championship now, since yellow is out. And black's having an issue there. Black is going slowly, and doesn't look he's going anywhere. This could be race over for him, which will be really unfortunate considering the amount of good luck and fortunes he's had so far. But and it looks like he's trying to reverse now as green goes past, and let's see if he can keep it going. And he's going slowly and he's getting up there, and yes, black will continue running in this race right at the back of the field, but he'll still be bagging 12 points for 4th, which is very big considering the championship at hand. As we watch him come around the ramp here, and the bumper just gets flicked off and stuck under the car, and then because of that he can't get anywhere, so he has to slowly reverse his tracks and keep on going from there, which is very smart from him considering that he's an AI, but eventually does get his wheels rolling forwards again, which is very lucky and very fortunate for him, because he'll still be getting some decent points, which is his best result ever considering he came in 8th last time due to an incident right at the very end, and only scored 4 points because he was the last of the runners, and Cyan and red had both DNF'd. So this is very big for Cyan. This will be his first points if he can finish it, and it will also be a podium. But I guess you could say that for almost everyone now that there's only 4 cars. Black's the only one missing out, but if someone makes a mistake, he'll be right back up there into the podium positions. As Cyan now sitting in 2nd, his best performance considering he finished 9th last time, DNFing. The only reason he didn't come last was because red had already DNF'd before him, but he started on pole and wasn't able to convert it, so he'll be very keen to bring the same fate upon orange, who has also started from pole in this race. and steal the win from him. That was probably deserving of his last time, after he had those issues that slowed him down. But second place isn't anything to be ashamed about. You'll still get 18 points, which is quite hefty. As it stands, green will get 15 points for third, and black will get 12 points for fourth. That'll be very big for him though, because he's only gotten 4 to his name. And no one else really will be getting points around him, because all the people who will be competing with him in the table are all out of the race. So anything he gets will be basically a bonus, and no one else will get. Oh, and green is off the track there, and he's managed to keep on going. But I'm sure after that collision he won't be keeping third for very long, and black will take it off him, getting even more points. And with the state of that car, green will be lucky to finish the race at this point. You can see his tyres slapping about, his lights are flapping about, his bumper's not even off, and his door is barely on its hinges. That car is in a very, very sorry state. As black comes around, I'm sure black's going to show no mercy. Yes, as he comes around, gives him a little thud there, and pushes his way into podium positions. Well, that's very sad for green. He survived so well in the other two, but that's not the way you're supposed to be taking the chicane, is it? And he looks like he won't be finishing this race despite all of the close calls he's had. But this time around the chicane, he is not going to be making it out the other side, unfortunately, and there'll be no points scored for green, who finishes in fourth. As we look on by with red, who managed to find a safe spot to stay, so we didn't get yet another red flag and have to have another restart. But the race is really now just between orange and cyan, because black is so far behind. Oh, but orange seems to have a very bad getaway there, and cyan's coming right alongside him, but orange tries to shut the door, almost shoving him into the wall there. But cyan isn't going to give up that easily. He's going to go around the outside if he needs to, and he gets better grip and traction off that corner there, and he looks like he's ahead, giving orange a couple of whacks. And there we go, there's another little whack there. Orange almost going for a swim, as cyan gets the lead of this race, the first change of lead for the whole race so far. But I think the battle will not be over. Orange is also one of the fastest cars around. He managed to go from 9th to 3rd last time, so I'm sure he'll be right on the back of cyan's tail, looking for an opportunity to sneak back around, as we see black snake slowly around the track behind the pack. Orange seems to be losing ground there. What an unfortunate turn of events for him. He had just a perfect race so far, but now he's fallen behind Cyan, who seems to have had an even better race, although Cyan has almost been spun around more times than I can count. Very lucky as well to be in the position he's in. All three people have needed some degree of luck to make it this far into the race, where only 3 cars remain in the running for points and victory. Now, since there's only 3 cars on the track, as a reward for surviving such a challenging circuit, you get a podium. Oh, and orange seems to have had the same issue that black's had, running over his bumper, and he doesn't look like he's going to get going anytime soon. Let's see if he can find a way to get going like black did, maybe reverse or something. But black zooms past and takes 2nd position, his best ever result, if he can stay alive and convert it. Not looking promising for orange though, as he revs the engine and nothing happens. That's not going to help orange. As we cut to the aerial view, looks like cyan is going to lap orange now, and yeah, that's very disappointing for orange, who was in the lead of the race only a couple of minutes ago. But now it looks like the cyan show, as we watch black come around, and black will also lap orange, who hasn't been classified as DNF yet. Oh, and it looks like he's moving orange. Orange is, his bumper's floating around there, that's kind of weird. But orange is back and rolling a lap behind the rest of the cars, so he won't be making any more positions anytime soon, I don't think. But he will still score points, which is better than 70% of the cars in this race. But looks like we're not going to get much more action now, as we only have 3 cars and they're all very separated. There's not going to be any overtakes for position or anything like that. And I'm sure orange will be very respectful to black, not taking him out. But yeah, if he gets the chance to get close, but he's not going to do any funny business because black is a whole lap ahead, and that's not his place to interfere. But it's been a dominant display by Cyan, as we're going to hop on board with him now and take a lap through one of the most challenging circuits on the calendar. This one is here to replace Monaco, because we weren't able to race there. but this is quite the fair replacement, I think. It's just as dangerous, just as tight, just as narrow. As we go through the Cyan, through the first couple of corners, they're pretty slam dunk, pretty easy, and we slowly snake around the hairpin there, and then we'll come around the fast couple of corners here of the docks, along with the long straight. We have to be very careful not to hit the poles on the side there, and keep clear of those as we come down to a heavy braking point into the ramp, one of the most favoured overtaking spots of the whole track. And then we come around to the shipping container section with a couple of 90-degree corners here, and then we come around the parking back to the end of the track with just a couple more 90-degree corners here, and that is one lap of Jungle Island, one of the most dangerous tracks on the calendar. Well, I might sign off for a bit now, as I don't think much is going to be happening, but if anything happens, I'll be right back to tell you all about it. Well, it was a tough and chaotic race for Cyan. He almost got spun multiple times, but he was able to pull through and keep strong, keep the car rolling, and because of that he'll be rewarded as we come around the last couple of corners here in Jungle Island, one of the most challenging tracks of the whole race calendar. And here he comes around the last corner. He'll be rewarded with a win as Cyan wins the Jungle Island race, and the only other two finishers will be a little bit further back, but as we wait here at the finishing line, we can just barely see Black coming around the corner there to come in second place, and just behind him Orange, who was the lap down but still finishing the race. He'll get a nice handful of points. And with back-to-back podiums, Orange leads the championship thanks to the two previous winners both DNFing in their other race. Those two cars being Yellow and Cyan, of course. Yellow winning the first race and Cyan winning this one, jumping up 6 positions in the championship. He's ahead of Black, who's in 4th, getting 18 points, moving up 4 positions from 8th to 4th. And then the following cars are Lime, Green, Blue, Purple and Pink in the same order they were in last time, because they all DNF'd, including Red, who has DNF'd both races and hasn't scored a single point so far in the championship. Orange is the only driver to have 2 podiums, and alongside Black they're the only 2 drivers to not ever have a DNF. Well, that wraps up today's race. I hope you can join us next time in a bit more of a traditional circuit in Spa. That'll be a very great race. I hope you can join us for that one in a little bit. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video around to anyone who might also enjoy it. But until then, see ya!